Imagine staring at a blank screen, the cursor blinking back at you like it's mocking your inability to come up with something new. You've been sitting here for hours, maybe even days, trying to push through, trying to create. But the ideas? They're just gone. And with each passing moment, frustration grows. Sound familiar? If so, then this message is for you. As creators, we often believe that productivity equals success, that if we're not constantly making something, we're falling behind. But what if I told you that sometimes the best way to move forward is actually to step back? That taking a break isn't failure. It's actually a vital part of the creative process. Why do we run out of ideas in the first place? Creativity isn't just a magical switch we can turn on and off. It's fueled by inspiration, experience, and, most importantly, mental energy. Think of your creativity like a battery. Every time you brainstorm, write, edit, design, or create, you're using up energy. And just like a phone battery, if you keep running it on low power mode, eventually, it'll shut down. The problem is, many of us don't realize when we're hitting that red zone. We push through, thinking that working harder will fix it, when in reality what we need is to recharge. A purposeful break allows your brain to reset. It gives you space to process ideas, make unexpected connections, and, believe it or not, boost your productivity when you return. So instead of forcing creativity when your mind is exhausted, let's talk about how to rest the right way. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Taking a break? Isn't that just another way to procrastinate? The answer is no, but only if you do it with intention. Procrastination is avoiding work out of fear, distraction, or a lack of discipline. It's scrolling endlessly on social media, binge-watching shows with no purpose, or delaying your work while feeling guilty about it. A purposeful break, on the other hand, is a strategic decision to pause so you can come back stronger. It's about stepping away, not as an escape, but as an investment in your creativity. The key difference? Mindfulness. When you take a break, do it with awareness. Set an intention for it, whether it's relaxation, inspiration, or even just movement. That way, when you return to your work, you feel recharged instead of drained. So how do we take breaks that truly refresh us? Here are a few proven methods. Move your body. Your mind and body are deeply connected. When your brain feels foggy, your body can actually help reset it. Try stepping outside for a short walk. Do some light stretching, yoga, or even a workout. Physical activity increases blood flow to your brain, helping you think clearer and feel more energized when you return. Change your environment. Sometimes creativity gets stuck because our surroundings stay the same. If you've been sitting at your desk for hours, move to a different spot. Work from a coffee shop, sit in a park, or even just rearrange your workspace. A change in scenery can trigger new ideas and perspectives. Engage in passive creativity. Even when you're not actively creating, your subconscious mind is still processing ideas. So instead of forcing creativity, immerse yourself in activities that spark inspiration. Watch a documentary, listen to music, read a book, or explore a museum. These activities plant seeds in your mind that often bloom into fresh ideas when you least expect them. Practice mindfulness or meditation. If stress and anxiety are blocking your creativity, try mindfulness techniques. Meditation, deep breathing, or even simple awareness exercises can help clear mental clutter. Sometimes all your brain needs is a moment of stillness to reset and refocus. Socialize and connect with others. If you've been working alone for too long, step away and engage in conversation. Meet up with a friend, join a creative community, or have a brainstorming session with someone. Talking with others often sparks new ideas in ways you wouldn't have thought of alone. Now, here's the tricky part. Many creators feel guilty about taking breaks. We convince ourselves that every second spent not working is wasted time. But let's be honest. Have you ever actually created your best work when you were burned out? Probably not. The most successful creators understand this. Rest is not the opposite of productivity, it's part of it. Your mind, just like your body, needs time to recover. If you don't let yourself recharge, you'll end up working slower, with less inspiration, and possibly even resenting the creative process. Instead of guilt, remind yourself, taking care of your mind is taking care of your creativity. So, after you've taken a purposeful break, how do you get back into the creative zone? Ease back in. Don't pressure yourself to be at 100% immediately. Start with small tasks to warm up your mind. Experiment with something new. Try approaching your project from a different angle. Fresh energy often comes from new experiences. Recognize what helped. Look back at your break and notice what refreshed you the most. Was it movement, socializing, passive creativity? Use that knowledge for future breaks. Let go of perfectionism. Creativity thrives in freedom. Don't overthink. Just start creating even if it's messy. By following these steps, you'll not only come back refreshed, you'll come back stronger, more inspired, and with a renewed love for your craft. If you're feeling stuck right now, don't panic. Don't force it. Take a break with purpose. Step away, recharge your mind, and trust that when you return, creativity will be waiting for you, stronger than before. Because true creativity isn't about endless output. It's about knowing when to step back, refuel, and then come back ready to create something even greater. Take care of your creativity. But more importantly, take care of yourself. Inspiration isn't something that just appears out of thin air. It's something we cultivate, something we seek out. If you've been stuck in a creative rut, feeling like every idea you have is just a rehash of something you've done before, it might be time to step outside of your usual thought patterns. The best way to do that? Look outward. Think about it. Our minds are like echo chambers. If we consume the same type of content, talk to the same people, and engage in the same activities day after day, our creativity gets stuck in a loop. To break free, we need to introduce new stimuli. That means exposing ourselves to new experiences, perspectives, and sources of inspiration. Read books outside of your niche. Watch films or listen to music that you wouldn't normally gravitate toward. Engage with different cultures, different art forms, and different disciplines. You'd be surprised how often an idea sparked by something seemingly unrelated can lead to a breakthrough in your own work. But don't just stop at consuming, engage. Have conversations with people outside of your industry. Attend events, explore new places, and take up a hobby that has nothing to do with your creative work. These experiences give your mind fresh material to work with, and when you least expect it, a new idea will emerge, one that wouldn't have been possible if you had stayed in the same creative bubble. Inspiration is everywhere. Sometimes all it takes is a willingness to look beyond what's familiar. There comes a point in every creator's journey when doubt starts creeping in. The excitement that once fueled your work feels distant, and the passion that used to drive you now feels like a burden. You sit in front of your work, struggling to find meaning in what you do, questioning whether it's even worth continuing. If you've ever felt this way, know that you're not alone. Every creator faces this moment. The key to overcoming it isn't to push harder, it's to pause and look back. Why did you start creating in the first place? At the beginning of every creative journey, there's a spark, a reason why you picked up a camera, a brush, a pen, or sat down in front of a blank screen with excitement. Maybe you wanted to tell stories, inspire people, or express emotions that words alone couldn't capture. Maybe you saw something in the world that needed to be said, needed to be shown, needed to be understood. Whatever it was, that reason, your why, is still there. It might just be buried under pressure, routine, and expectations. And the only way to find it again is to reflect, reconnect with your original purpose. Think back to the very first time you created something that made you feel alive. Maybe it was a childhood drawing, a short story you wrote in secret, or a video you made just for fun. What was it about that moment that made you excited? What emotions did it spark? In the early stages, we create with pure intention. There are no deadlines, no audience to impress, no algorithms to chase. It's just us and our ideas coming to life without fear of judgment. But as time goes on, external factors creep in, expectations from others, pressure to monetize, comparisons to more successful creators. The purity of creating for the love of it starts to fade. If you've lost your motivation, go back to your roots. Find an old project that once made you proud. Rewatch it, reread it, relive the feeling it gave you. Ask yourself, what did I love about this? What made me excited back then? More often than not, the answers will remind you of the joy that first drew you to this path. Identify what's holding you back. As creators, we evolve. What once excited us may not have the same impact today, and that's okay. But sometimes what drains our passion isn't a lack of interest in our craft, but something deeper. Are you creating for yourself or for external validation? It's easy to fall into the trap of making things just to please an audience, get more views, or fit into a trend. But when we create only to meet expectations, it stops feeling fulfilling. Are you feeling pressured to be perfect? Perfectionism is one of the biggest killers of creativity. If you're constantly afraid your work isn't good enough, you may be stopping yourself before you even start. Are you burned out? If creating has started to feel like a chore, it's possible that your mind simply needs rest. Taking a break isn't quitting, it's recharging. Once you identify what's blocking your creativity, you can start working on removing it. If you're creating for validation, remind yourself why you started in the first place. If perfectionism is holding you back, challenge yourself to create something imperfect just for fun. And if you're burned out, give yourself permission to pause. Shift your perspective. Create without pressure. Sometimes the best way to reconnect with your creativity is to change how you approach it. Instead of thinking about creating as something you have to do, think of it as something you get to do. Make something just for you. No deadlines, no audience in mind, no goal other than to create for the sake of it. Write a short story no one will read, paint something messy, record a video that never gets posted. Let go of the pressure to perform and simply enjoy the process. Experiment with something new. If you've been doing the same type of content for a long time, try exploring a different style, medium, or technique. Sometimes, breaking out of routine is all it takes to reignite excitement. Give yourself permission to be bad. Not every project needs to be a masterpiece. In fact, some of the best creative breakthroughs come from allowing yourself to make mistakes and learn from them. When you stop focusing on results and start focusing on the joy of creating, you'll often find that inspiration comes naturally. Remember the impact you've made. Even if you don't feel it right now, your work has made a difference. Every piece of content you've put out into the world has the potential to inspire, educate, or entertain someone. But in moments of doubt, we forget this. Take a moment to reflect on the impact you've had. Read old comments from people who appreciated your work. Think about the times someone reached out to tell you how much your content meant to them. Even if your audience is small, remember that numbers don't define value. Connection does. And if you feel like your work hasn't made an impact yet, remember, every great creator started at zero. What matters isn't how many people you've reached, but the fact that you keep creating. The world needs your voice, your vision, your unique perspective. Look ahead, redefine your creative journey. Reflecting on why you started doesn't mean you have to stay in the past. It's also about redefining where you want to go next. Ask yourself, what excites me about creating today? What do I want to explore next? How can I make creativity enjoyable again? Your creative journey isn't meant to be static. It's okay to evolve, to shift directions, to change what inspires you. What matters is that you keep going. So if you're feeling lost right now, take a deep breath. Remember why you started. Let go of the pressures, the expectations, the comparisons. Find joy in the process again. And trust that your creativity isn't gone. It's just waiting for you to rediscover it. Because at the end of the day, you're not just a creator. You're a storyteller, a visionary, a voice that brings something unique to the world. And that's worth holding on to. Creativity thrives on novelty, yet as creators, we often find ourselves trapped in familiar routines. When the work starts feeling repetitive or uninspired, it's a sign that we need to shake things up. Trying a new approach can reignite your creative energy, helping you break free from stagnation and rediscover your passion. One of the most effective ways to challenge yourself is by stepping outside of your comfort zone. If you're a writer, experiment with a different style or genre. If you're a filmmaker, try a new storytelling technique. If you're a designer, explore an aesthetic that's completely opposite to your usual work. The goal isn't to be perfect. It's to disrupt your usual patterns and force your brain to think differently. Often, the act of exploring something unfamiliar opens doors to fresh ideas and unexpected breakthroughs. Another powerful method is to impose creative constraints on yourself. It might sound counterintuitive, but limiting your options can actually enhance creativity. For example, set a rule that you can only use 3 colors in your next design, write a short story using only 1-syllable words, or make a video in under 60 seconds. Constraints push you to innovate because they force you to find solutions within a defined space. Many of history's greatest artistic achievements were born from limitations, proving that creativity doesn't always need endless possibilities. It needs challenges. Collaboration is another way to introduce a new perspective. When you work with someone who has a different creative background, they bring ideas, techniques, and insights that you might never have considered on your own. If you usually create alone, reach out to another creator, someone in a different field even. A musician might inspire a visual artist with sound. A filmmaker might get storytelling ideas from a poet. By blending different disciplines, you create something truly unique and refreshing. Lastly, one of the most transformative things you can do is redefine what success looks like. Sometimes we feel stuck because we've attached our creativity to rigid expectations. Whether it's gaining followers, making sales, or achieving a certain level of recognition. Instead of chasing external validation, shift your focus to experimentation and growth. Ask yourself, what if I created just for the sake of discovery? This mindset frees you from pressure and allows you to explore new creative directions without fear of failure. When you feel creatively drained, don't wait for inspiration to return. Actively challenge yourself. Try something new, set constraints, collaborate, redefine success. Because the truth is, breakthroughs don't come from doing the same thing over and over. They come from stepping outside the familiar and daring to explore the unknown. Creativity doesn't have to be a solo journey. While we often picture artists, writers, and creators working alone in deep concentration, the truth is that inspiration thrives in connection. Surrounding yourself with a creative community can reignite your passion, push your ideas further, and remind you why you started creating in the first place. One of the most powerful benefits of being part of a creative community is the exchange of ideas. When you connect with others who share your passion, you gain fresh perspectives, constructive feedback, and insights that you might not have discovered on your own. Whether it's through online groups, local meetups, or creative workshops, engaging in discussions with like-minded individuals can help break creative blocks and open new doors of inspiration. Sometimes, a simple conversation with another creator can spark an idea that changes everything. Beyond idea sharing, a creative community provides encouragement and support. Every creator faces self-doubt, burnout, and moments of frustration. In these times, having a network of people who understand your struggles can make all the difference. A supportive community reminds you that you're not alone, that setbacks are part of the process, and that every creator, no matter how successful, has been in your shoes before. They can lift you up when you feel stuck and celebrate with you when you achieve milestones, no matter how big or small. Collaboration is another way a creative community can breathe new life into your work. Working with others allows you to combine different skills, perspectives, and strengths to create something greater than what you could have achieved alone. Whether it's teaming up on a project, brainstorming ideas, or simply bouncing thoughts off one another, collaboration fuels creativity in ways that solo work often cannot. Even if you're an independent creator, interacting with others can inspire you to experiment with new techniques, styles, or approaches that you might not have considered otherwise. If you're not sure where to start, look for communities that align with your interests. Social media platforms have countless groups dedicated to different creative fields, writing forums, design communities, filmmaking collectives, and more. Attending workshops, conferences, or local events is another great way to meet people who share your passion. And if you can't find the right space, consider creating one yourself. A simple group chat, online forum, or regular meetup with fellow creators can be enough to build a network of support and inspiration. At the heart of it all, creativity is about connection. Connecting with ideas, emotions, and people. So, if you're feeling stuck, don't isolate yourself. Reach out. Engage with the creative world around you. You never know how a single conversation, collaboration, or piece of feedback could change the course of your creative journey. Final words. Keep creating, keep growing. If you've made it this far, I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Creativity is not always easy. It comes with challenges, doubts, and moments of exhaustion. But remember, you're not alone in this. Whether you're taking a break, seeking new inspiration, reflecting on your journey, challenging yourself, or connecting with a community, you're moving forward in your creative path. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content on creative well-being. Share this with a fellow creator who might need a little motivation today. And most importantly, keep creating, keep exploring, and keep believing in your unique voice. See you in the next video.